Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Peeb's official podcast. We here at the People for the Ethical Advancement of Bears believe very strongly in standing up and representing the bear minority culture in America. I'm here with my co-host, Stan. Stan, how are you doing today?
Hello, I'm good.
Stan, what is my name?
Your name is.
It shouldn't take you this long.
It shouldn't. Your name.
Stan, we've been doing this. We've been doing this podcast for like months. What's my name?
All right, listen, Drew.
Okay. Yes.
All right.
Yes. All right. It took you long enough.
Don't sass me about names.
Okay. Seriously, Stan.
Yeah.
Did you know that in 48 states in this country, it is illegal for a bear to walk into a grocery store or convenience store or gas station convenience store and buy a pack of cigarettes?
Wait, bears can't buy cigarettes in 48 states?
No, 48 states, that is completely illegal.
Oh,
they
my
will
God.
shoot that bear immediately if they see him enter that store.
You know what? This just goes to show you about the plight of the common American bear. Can't even get a pack of butts.
I know, it's ridiculous. Did you know, and I know I'm asking these questions to you, Stan, but this is for all of our listeners.
Of course.
Did you know that there are still certain states in this country, mostly in the Midwest, and then it's like Texas and like some of the states around there. You know what I'm talking about. Those states. If you're a bear living in one of the aforementioned states that I did not actually mention, did you realize that you can't so much as maul someone to death without being pursued by animal control officers and police and members of the United States Armed Forces?
Wait. You mean bears can't do their natural bear things?
No, they cannot. They're being held back. They're being repressed.
Oh my God.
This is what we've been talking about, people. Listen up. And finally, Stan, did you realize that there are still 2 states in this country that bears are not even allowed to vote in?
Wait, there's still 2 left where bears cannot vote?
Mm-hmm. It's disgraceful.
Holy shit.
We've been trying so hard here at Peeb, just trying to advance bear culture, and it's just, we can only do so much, Stan, because people they aren't listening. North Dakota and
Wyoming,
you better listen up. If you don't get yourselves together and pass some local legislature that allows bears to vote in local elections as well as the presidential election, because bears have a voice too.
Bears live here.
Bears live all over the place. Bears
live in America.
They live in your homes. They live in your garages.
They're your brothers and your sisters and your friends.
Statistics show that if you're at a movie theater and you look to your left and there's 2 people, and you look to your right and there's 2 people, one of you is a bear.
One of you is a bear. 1 out of 5 people is a bear.
That's
you
true.
Be the bear.
It's all right. If you look to your left and you see 2 people, you see 2 human beings, you look to your right, you see 2 other human beings, you're the bear.
You're the bear.
You just didn't realize it.
And
that means that you can't vote in Wyoming.
Or,
why don't you think about that?
Why don't you think about that? I have a confession.
What's up, Stan?
My name's not Stan.
Here at P, we think that bears are people too.
We are. Your name is Nick.
Oh, I thought it was Drew.
Oh shit! No, it's Nick, and this is the Bear vs. Man cast.
Oh,
what?
Dude, what's that?
It's a podcast about video games. Also, nothing.
Yeah, it's the premier video game podcast about nothing.
That's true. That's true.
Brian, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm good.
You had a long day at work,
I did.
and you're probably exhausted, and you
Yeah.
just want to have a good podcast sesh. Is this true?
Yeah. I need this to be nice.
All right. Well, we'll take it easy. We keep it smooth here. We're not gonna get too complicated.
It's not gonna get too heavy.
Yeah, no, it'll be
I'm looking at the docket here. It's not gonna get too heavy.
No, it's fine. We got some good stuff. We're not going to discuss anything having to do with Metal Gear Solid, so don't have to worry about that.
Metal
It's
Gear
just
Solid
gonna
5 update. I haven't played it since last week.
Metal Gear Solid 5 update. Played it a bunch of times. I went into a very specific region of Afghanistan. I infiltrated, and I marked my target, and I went in, and I acquired the cassette tape for Hollow Knight's Maneater.
Oh, fantastic!
And I immediately exfiltrated the hot zone, and I got on my helicopter, made it back to Mother Base in one piece, and we just popped champagne, and the fucking confetti was flying, and we
great.
did it. We had a banner that said "Mission Accomplished." It was awesome.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, man, it was a blast. I like that game still.
The game's good.
It's gonna be up there for Game of the Year. Calling it right now. Gonna be up there for Game of the Generation.
Game of the generation.
Would you not say so?
Yeah, definitely. Are
I
you
can't-
keeping an active Game of the Year list?
No, but I actually was thinking now that we're more than halfway through the year, I probably should make one.
I
For
have
real?
like 12 games on it. How will this ever be a top 10? Nobody knows.
Yeah, man, those two, you're not willing to budge on any of those games.
No, I'm willing to budge on 2 of these games.
All right, then we good.
Then
there's
we
there's a
good.
lot of games that came out that I'm going to play towards the end of the year, like Grow Home. Is that this year?
Yeah, that was this year.
So that's free on PS4 right now, so it's something that I haven't played yet, but I will definitely play in anticipation of talking about Game of the Year stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good too right now, Ryan. I had a long day at work, but I'm good.
Oh, you're good?
I've actually been up since 4:30 this morning.
That sounds dumb.
Yeah, well, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, is all I'm saying.
Oh, Nick, there's 12 games on my list, and Rock Band 4 isn't out yet.
I think so. You're saying that after you remove those two you're willing to compromise on, there's nothing else you're willing to budge.
Oh, God, Yokai Watch comes out? Nick, there's so many
shit,
other
dude.
games.
Little Big Arena or whatever, Little Battlers Arena.
I don't think that
even
comes
know.
out this year.
Yeah, it does.
No.
What? Are you sure? Look it up right now.
I am.
Come on.
Hold on. Oh, no, it is.
Oh yeah.
It comes out, like, really soon. Like, really soon.
Yeah,
like
I was gonna
now?
say,
Like, it might already be out.
I think it might be out. I saw Nintendo of America doing a bunch of PR stuff on it.
Anyway. Oh, there's already a Metacritic review.
Oh, sweet. What does it say?
74.
Oh, that's only like 3/4 good.
That's only 3/4 good.
Ryan,
Yes.
another side note.
Yes.
I'm feeling particularly refreshed this evening because my phone's now running iOS 9.0.
Hey, you won the prize.
What's the prize? Is the prize when you double tap the home button, it shows all your apps open, but they're going the wrong way?
No.
Because I got that.
Oh, you got that?
Yeah, like you know how your apps, like the most, like the app you had open, and then the second app you had open, and so on and so forth, they'd scroll like from left to right.
Yep.
They scroll from right to left now.
That's lame.
I don't really know why.
Oh, man.
Also, if my phone was plugged in right now and I had the feature turned on, I could just say, "Hey Siri," and she would just start listening.
That was already a feature
Oh, when did they add that?
a while ago.
When?
I don't know. That's been a feature for a while, and I got really mad at it, so I turned it off.
I'd never had it on. Like, it seems like a terrible idea.
Oh, it's not good. Like, don't do that.
Apparently they're going to be adding soon the ability to do that when you're not plugged into battery, which seems like a horrible idea.
Yeah, it makes it so that Siri's always watching you. She's always listening to what you need.
I don't want that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
I don't ever use her.
No, I don't use Siri. The only thing I do with Siri is, for whatever reason, I find it way faster to tell her about appointments that I need to keep than it is for me to actually like put something into calendar manually.
Yeah, there's been some times that I'd use her when I'm driving, have her like play a song or a podcast maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And by far the best use for Siri I've found is if you're about to take a nap, you
Yep.
can just be like, Siri, wake up in an hour. Boom, done.
And she does it?
Yeah. Well,
That's sick.
I mean, like, makes an alarm go up. I don't have to, like, go at a timer, like, an hour, or, like, try and figure out what an hour is instead. No, it's just, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
So that's... But I don't need her to respond to me whenever I speak. Like, that doesn't improve the quality of it at all. So,
That doesn't make anybody's life better.
no, it's just... Seems like a big old waste of battery to me.
It is, probably.
I can't afford to waste any battery, man.
No.
Ryan, what'd you play this week? Tell me.
I played a game.
I think you may have played more than one game.
I played, quote, 3 games, unquote.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we both played kind of the big, biggest release of the year, I would say, probably,
That's not true.
of the past 30 years.
That's not true.
What's the biggest release of the year?
Metal Gear Solid 5. Are you stupid?
That's very, very, very possible.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think of anything that, like, culturally important came out this year already. Oh, what are you talking about? Honey Pop came out. That was technically
yeah.
this year. you
Yeah.
idiot.
Duh. What are you...
You're
dumb.
stupid. Gosh.
Shit.
No, but the Mario Maker, the Super Mario Maker.
Super Mario Maker. No, the...
Yeah, whatever. I just think it's funny that it's called. It's very carefully. It's Super Mario Maker.
It is. Yeah.
You know, Mario Maker seems shorter to the point and just
Yeah,
more
but
convenient and fun. And
You're making Super Marios. You're
That's
not
what I-
just making Marios.
that's what I say. I say to myself, like, hey, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna make a Super Mario.
Mm-hmm.
And if I make a Mario that's not super, I just go like, "This is I suck. I can tear. This
you
is,
hold
this is
down the
terrible."
rocket for
I
3
hold down the rocket
seconds,
ship. I make sure I don't
and-
save it.
You throw it away.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Super Mario Maker is a game that is theoretically like 30 years in the making. For a very long time, people have dreamed of making their own Super Mario levels,
It's true.
which I can say I have never done.
I've never done it either.
But all over the internet, there are stories of people who say, like, oh, I remember when I used to make Super Mario levels on graph paper when I was in math class. And it's like, I don't know, man. I never did that. And I've been a big Mario fan. I think it was really Mario, Super Mario World was really the one that, like, resonated with me when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
But I never felt myself being like, yeah, these levels are okay, but I could do better.
I don't know. I played a bunch of Super Mario World and Super Mario Brothers 3 as a child.
I played the All Stars version of 3, which
Oh, yeah?
is superior. It just looks better, and it runs a little bit better. You know, like less slow down, whatever. But I don't know if we can. Like, they don't have that version available out there, really. Like, you can buy 3 on the Virtual Console, but
No, the Super Mario All-Stars is very much like Super Mario All-Stars on Super Nintendo, and that's it.
I would gladly buy that version of 3 for, the
Money.
price of a game, like a one game. Like I wouldn't expect them to release all of the games for that amount, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I think they might have freshened up Super Mario Brothers 2 in that package as well, which is a pretty cool thing to do.
Are you sure?
Put them all together. I want to say I want to say it looked a little bit more 16-bit.
No, I don't.
More
I don't think
colorful.
Super Mario 2 was in that package.
Oh, it definitely was. Super Mario
You
World?
Super Mario 2.
But Super Mario All-Stars, I'm sorry. I've certainly never owned a copy of Super Mario Brothers 2 by itself, but I've played that game because it was in that package.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I
I
swear.
don't actually own the All Stars package, so I don't really know.
I
but
actually-
I swear.
I own All-Stars plus World
Mm-hmm.
altogether, which I thought was a super rare game. It's not.
It's not.
It's not at all. You get it for like $30 on eBay.
Can.
You should.
Mm,
Oh wait,
no,
you don't like Mario games. Yeah, so why did
Yeah.
you play? Why do you want to play Mario Maker? You don't like Mario games. We've been over this.
So I watched people have fun, and I also wanted to have fun.
All right, podcast over. You summed up the whole goddamn experience of video games just there.
I I wanted to have fun, so I did.
Did
I
you
am
have
having
fun?
I am having fun.
I'm having trouble actually making them. I'm having trouble kind of thinking outside the box in the right way. I'm kind of just doing sort of lame, weird stuff that doesn't really work. And then I'm like, where do I put the mushrooms? It's like, if I don't put one here, it's going to be too hard. But if I put one over here, it's going to be too easy.
Yeah.
Because I have this trouble with kind of mentally have the level spaced out into segments, whether I mean to do it or not. And it winds up being oh, well, I don't want to make this segment in such a way that if you just have a mushroom, you can just get hit by the first guy and just jump through it.
Yeah.
And then get to the next mushroom. You gotta spread it out enough. But I also don't want to make it... I don't want to make it too easy. I don't want to make it too hard. Because I don't find any pleasure in making, super duper hard levels that just no one's ever going to be able to beat. That's not what I'm making Super Mario's for.
Yeah. No, that's lame. I don't have any fun making super hard levels.
There's plenty of people doing that, so it just doesn't. It doesn't work. Doesn't do it for me.
I find that I made one level with a friend, and I thought that was very fun. We both collaborated on just different parts. It was well, I have an idea, and then you run out of gas. Because the problem about making a whole Mario level is you're okay, well, what do I do? What do I start? And you're just okay, so I'm gonna put wigglers in it, and then after you get the wigglers in it, you're just well, now fucking what? So having another person there to be I have an idea, and then he takes the thing from you and puts in some stuff.
That sounds awesome. I think we should do that.
We should do that on our next live stream.
Okay, that sounds like a lot of fun. Or we can just
fun.
make a level and then just be hey, everybody try and beat this.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And just take turns trying to beat it.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential for that kind of stuff. It seems honestly, I didn't know what to make of this game exactly.
It's a weird thing.
I was is this game doesn't seem like it really... At first I was whoa, there's so much going on here. And then I was actually, there's really not that much. It's there's a lot of stuff that you can't do.
Yeah.
There's enemies missing from games, and there's certain types of moving platforms, and you can't... So I realized it when I was playing the 10 Mario Challenge, which is all the Nintendo created levels.
Yeah.
They did a remake of 1-2 from the first game, and there's that part where the orange platforms are scrolling endlessly, and that's when you could jump on top of one, and then you go to the warp zone, and you jump on top of the break in the blocks, and you go to the warp zone.
Yes.
You can't make endlessly scrolling cycling, moving platforms like that. So they just had to replace it with like one platform that just moved up and down on a rail.
Yeah,
And I was like, I guess that's fine, but it's like, they did all sorts of cool stuff, like add wigglers to the first game.
Mm-hmm.
They just made a wiggler sprite for the first game, and they made like those moving skull blocks in the first game, and they put a Karibo shoe in the first game.
Yeah.
They did cool stuff like that, kind of like taking things that didn't quite work and kind of either adjusting them so they worked in that game, or they just remade it.
Mm-hmm.
They did cool stuff like that, but they also were just like missing stuff.
Yeah. No, they definitely are. I mean, it's not like a complete all the things you could ever have.
Yeah, and there's plenty. Like, there's enough in there for sure. After you kind of have all the pieces, which is kind of an ordeal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to explain to you and everyone else how this whole BS thing worked.
Okay, I did it. I finished. I got all the things.
I did too. Eventually, yeah. I was actually. Well, I'll explain my feelings on it afterwards. But
sure.
Basically, before the game was out, my understanding was they had like the pre-release copies out to journalists and YouTube personalities and stuff like that. And the way it worked was you would you'd make levels for 5 minutes, and then it would say, "All right, good, you're making so many Super Marios, you're so good, dude. Just keep doing that." And then tomorrow we're going to give you a couple more pieces to work with. In the meantime, just take those 12 pieces and just make them work for you. Like, try mastering them. And you had to come back the next day, and then they would give you the underwater set or whatever.
Yep.
And so it's possible to just manipulate the calendar and just tell your Wii U that it was tomorrow, and your Wii U would be like, yep, definitely is tomorrow. And that's how you could kind of unlock everything. And it took 9 days to unlock everything. So it was like people who really wanted to play Super Mario Maker, who were like really into just sitting down and being like, oh my gosh, I waited for this game my whole life. I want to do nothing right now but make Super Marios. They couldn't. They were just restricted to 12 pieces the first day. You could do like block, ground, question mark block, like regular block that's just ground but looks different.
Yep.
Like Goombas, Koopas, pipes, mushrooms. So there's some other pieces I'm missing, but it's not a lot to work with at first.
Mm-hmm.
So after kind of like hearing that people didn't like that so much, they added that stayed in the game, but they added a new way to kind of deal with it. Where if you played the game for 5 minutes every day, it would say like, "Oh yeah, come back tomorrow for the underwater set." But then if you just like made a shitload of Super Marios, they'd be like, "Oh man, you're blowing through this stuff. You're so good at making Super Marios. We're gonna give you it'll just be like, oh, looks like the delivery arrived early. Here's the underwater set." And then you'd like use all the pieces in the underwater set. Like, you had to use one of each, and then play for 5 more minutes. It would say, "All right, come back tomorrow for the castle set." And then you just play, just make tons of more Super Marios, and they would be like, "All right, hey, it arrived early. Here's a castle set." So on and so forth. Basically, the easiest way to do that was just make a ton of blocks. And each block, they're just like, "Yeah, man, that's another piece this guy's placing. He's making a lot of Super Marios. He's really good."
He's doing it.
Which is like, is this any better than just changing the clock? I told myself. I did. So that was obviously a weird system. It's a weird decision, or a bold decision that they made to lock some stuff out. And Nintendo, I'm sure Nintendo thought a lot about what they were going to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of almost looking forward to it when I heard about it. Because I was like, oh, well, that's fine, because it gives me time to like make levels with the pieces I have, and I can get really good at making like basic levels, and then I won't want to add all like the crazy bonkers stuff at first. And I think that there's a lot of merit to that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But then I started making a level, and I was like, I can't make warp pipes that go to other levels, and I can't make invisible blocks. Fuck this game. And I threw my gamepad on the ground, and I left.
Yeah.
That's not true. I kept making Mario levels. I actually have one level I've uploaded that's just called Day One that I made with just all the stuff you have on the first day before I could figure out how to cheese it.
I made a very popular Mario level.
Is it called Mario is Hungry?
It is.
It's a good Mario level.
It has like 8 stars or some shit.
Really?
People love it.
That's that's like a kind of a lot of stars.
Right?
Really, if you earn enough stars as a creator, as a Super Mario maker, you get to upload more levels. But I'm not going to worry too much about that till I actually have 10 levels up there. I kind of just been like picking like a theme that I want to go with. Like I'm working on an aircraft or an airship level from 3 right now. And then I'm probably going to make like maybe like a ghost house or a dungeon level in World. And like I'm trying to start with a theme. I think that was one of the tips that was in the guidebook that came with the game. There's like the digital manual has like a lot of information in it, including just like tips on how to make Mario makers or how to make Super Marios.
Yeah.
And one of them was just like pick a theme. And I kind of want to go back and read those and be like, all right, Nintendo, I'll play your game. I'll follow your hints, and I'll see. You know, I'm not gonna just say like, no, I know how to make Super Marios. Don't you tell me how to make Super Marios? Because I don't. I don't know how to do that.
I make it up. It works out okay.
Yeah, I liked. There are a couple levels that you made that I liked a lot.
Yeah.
As much as popular as Mario is Hungry is, it lacks a certain amount of depth.
There is absolutely no depth
that I like in my Mario levels.
There's zero depth.
But I have a lot of fun doing the 100 Mario challenge and stuff like that. Even just like the easy version.
Yeah.
Just kind of having this like. So that's what I think is maybe the brightest part of this game. Is like obviously the creation tools are awesome, so easy to use. The gamepad actually makes sense now, which is
definitely
wacky. Yeah. Like no one ever thought that would happen.
Mm-hmm.
But then like you have the 100 Mario challenge. For people who don't know, it's basically you pick easy, medium, or hard, and it gives you 8 to 16 levels and 100 lives. And so you start level 1, and they just go like, I don't know, this guy's from France, he made this level, why don't you play it? Like, they just spin a giant wheel, and they pick out a level for you, and you play it.
Yep.
And you can skip it if it's, like, total bullshit. Like, I've gotten into a couple ones that are specifically made to, like, you have to get them on the first try. It's like, there'll be like, a spring on like, with wings, and if you don't jump on it when it's there, then you mess up. Like, you can't continue. You also can't kill yourself, so you just skip it.
Yeah.
And so, like, because levels can be kind of long and they can contain multiple levels, and they also, like, can't have checkpoints, sometimes I'll play a level that I get randomly and I'm just like, wow, this person put a lot of time into this, and I really like this level, but I don't have the patience to beat it. Because, like, it's not that hard. If I just kept throwing myself at it, I could beat it. But I don't want to.
Yeah.
But you can pause in the middle of a level and give them a star right there. You don't have to finish it.
Yeah.
Which I thought at first you had to finish it before you give them a star. Not true. I find that I'm very... I don't know, tell me if this has been your experience. Do you play a lot of levels online?
Not that many.
You're more about making them?
I've done 1 or 2 of the 100 Mario challenges.
Mm-hmm. I want to say I've done, like... not that many more than that. I haven't really played it that much. But, like, maybe, like, 4, maybe 5.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I also find it interesting to do a 10 Mario challenge, see what Nintendo cooked up with all this stuff.
Yeah.
But I find that I'm very lenient with my stars.
If I liked it, I will star it. And that's about...
It takes nothing away from me to star it. Like, I was like, I don't know, just, have a star. I don't even care. It's nothing. It means nothing to me, but it means something to you.
If I had fun, I star it.
I'll even, like, there's one level I played, I think it might have just been called Atlantis, and it was this really, like, it was like an adventure game. Like, you had to go to different parts of the level to get a P block to go back to, like, get through a wall of blocks, and you turn them into coins, but on the other side of the wall of blocks there was more coins. You had to get another P-switch. I beat on my first try, although halfway through I realized, if I die, I'm not doing this over again. But I thought it was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I had a reasonable amount of fun. I don't know if it was really like the most. It definitely wasn't the most fun I've had playing that game.
Yeah.
But I said, like, man, this guy put a lot of time into this. It's an interesting idea. Definitely gonna sauce him a star. Like, why not?
Yeah.
It's mostly just like it's literally like 80% of the levels I play, I'll just star them because, like, fuck it, right?
Fuck it, right?
It's only if I get like really annoyed by a
Mm-hmm.
level that I'll be like, yeah, dude, no, sorry, I can't. And good conscience, I just can't. Like, I'm not gonna reward that behavior.
No, you can't.
Even if I beat it on the first try, it's like, no, that was just silly. Like, sometimes just like, I think it's interesting. It tells you where the person's from. I also really wish it gave you like their age, maybe just in like a 5-year range.
Maybe, yeah. Why?
Like, I don't know. That's a satisfying detail that I would like to know. It's just, if like a thing gets made by someone who's literally a child. I
guess.
I kind of am interested in knowing if that's the case.
yeah.
I don't know. That's something that would never happen, but I think it would be just an interesting, add a little bit of interesting depth to when I was playing the levels. Because there's certainly plenty of levels that I play. I'm just like, this is made by a child.
Oh, yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
Which begs to ask the question: is this game for children?
No.
This game is not for children.
No.
Well, it's a
Well,
Nintendo game, so
I mean,
it
it is
is.
for... Children can play this game, but so can I.
But you don't think children are the primary demographic? You think this is all about that nostalgia factor?
Yeah. Yeah. I do.
Okay, I'll give. I'm willing to agree with that.
I mean,
but I
3
think
out of 4 of the tile sets are from games that existed when we were children. So it's kind of like, that's how I feel about it.
so. How many kids do you think actually play this game?
Oh,
Like,
probably a fair amount. Probably a lot.
because their frame of reference is like, if you were born after the N64 came out, you don't necessarily know what's up with Mario games. I guess maybe you might have played maybe like your dad was like, I remember Mario for this Nintendo. I'm going to get you New Super Mario Brothers Wii or something.
Yeah, that probably happened.
And they go, oh, 2D Marios? And like, oh, and like maybe the kid really liked it because Mario is kind of universally well liked. They're good games, even the ones that are not as good as the other ones, still good. And they said like, oh, well, Mario in 2D, this can be fun too. Oh, there's all these other games that came out before, maybe they said like, I'm a child and the only game I can afford right now on my Wii U is an $8 download of Super Mario World because I don't have any money.
Yeah.
And I know that I like Mario. Oh, this game's really good, and they have that kind of realization that we did back in the day.
Mhm.
And then they want to play Super Mario Maker.
Yeah.
I also have I've seen at least one time I saw a level that was made by a man named Dad.
That's cute.
And it's very I thought that was kind of touching.
Yeah.
It's like it's most likely his child's Wii U,
Yes.
and he was just like, Super Mario, I remember that shit. Give me that. And he had his Mii on there that his child insisted that he make, and he just named it Dad. And then he was just like, what? Timmy's asleep? I want to make some fucking Super Marios, dog.
I'll make some
And he
Super
did.
Marios.
And I played it. I don't remember if the level was good or not, but it's probably alright. Probably start it.
Yeah.
So you like the game?
Yeah. I don't know how much time I'm gonna put into it, realistically.
Yeah. It's my bedtime game right now because I can just off-screen play works wonderfully.
Yep.
Although I do wind up, if I get into making something, I'm like, usually keeps me up a little bit too long. I'll usually just like play some levels before bed because you can always save and quit in the middle of like a 100 Mario session. But I like it a whole lot. I'm hoping that there's room to expand here in the future.
Yeah, but like, they're just gonna add new enemies.
Yeah, or like, there's a whole other row for stuff to add. They could add Hammer
You can
Bros
make that
suits.
into a custom bar. That's all that is.
Yeah, but they could add more.
Yeah, no, of course. But
Do you have to rearrange the pieces, or can you copy them into that bar?
I don't know.
If you can copy them in there, that's sick. Because if you're just like working with like the same 12 pieces in every level,
Yeah.
you can just
I don't know.
make that your bar at the top all the time. But I just think there's like a little room for expansion. You and I talked about this not while we were recording our voices, which is insane to me.
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry.
I know, just like how do we? Sometimes it's just like
We talk when we don't podcast.
yeah, it's like I know it's maybe hard for some people to believe, but
I know.
we speak when we're not recording.
It's true.
That if they did it like a kind of a Splatoon thing with this game, it'd be a really good idea. Because with
Yeah.
Splatoon, they were doing that thing where they just like every week they'd be like, "Oh, here's a new weapon," and then like a week, 2 weeks later, they'd be like, "Here's a new map, here's a new game mode," like once a month, and so it get people kind of to hold interest in the game and come back in and keep the community thriving. Because without an active online community, Splatoon's kind of poopy. I mean, the single player is what it is, but it's an
people
online
don't
game.
play that game. Yeah.
So, and then very much a Super Mario Maker, like you can have fun playing, like making levels and playing them, but that's the amount of fun to be had there is limited. So what they need is a thriving online community, which is the whole point of the game, as far as
Right.
I can tell. And so if they just every 2 weeks or so they said like, hey, I don't know,
Here's a thing.
here's the Hammer Bros suit
Yep.
from the third game, but you can make it in all the games, and then people might like actually pick up Mario Maker again and maybe play a couple levels and see what's new and what's interesting. Throw some stars out there, maybe make something new, and kind of just like refresh the community. If they did something like that, just to kind of
Yeah.
keep people engaged and get them to make new levels every once in a while, just to keep things cycling through the most popular created whatever. I think that would be a really cool thing that they would do. But as far as I know, they haven't talked about any of that stuff at all. Although I didn't know they were planning on doing that for Splatoon until like pretty much it was out.
Until it happened. Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't like hyping that up at all. So for all I know, I mean, it hasn't even been a week yet. This game's been out. Because it's September 16th, 2015. And so maybe they got something planned. I don't know. There aren't really any other games they could add.
Not really. No. Yeah, because they've done all of the 2D sprites already.
Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World 2.
That would be cool.
I don't know
But
how
it-
that
it-
would work.
That wouldn't work at all.
Just like
Because all the physics in Yoshi's World are way different.
you just keep the physics and you play as Mario, but you just have the Yoshi's Island motif on all your stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
And then they can add Shy Guys.
If they just
and
made
they
a bunch
can
of
add
stuff-
poison mushrooms.
Yeah. If they
don't
made
know.
a bunch of stuff that just looks like the Yoshi's Island art style, that'd be super. I would be cool with that. Like if it was just like Super Mario World physics, but it looked like Super Yoshi.
Yeah, it's some of that parallax scrolling, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep playing that game. It's definitely fun. It's a good time. I didn't think up to release, like when I first heard about it, I was like, I don't want that game. I think close to release, I started to realize that I was definitely going to get that game. I was like, fuck it, I'll just buy it day one. Like I just wanted to be in there and
I just wanted
in
to
the
play that
moment,
shit.
and yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I wanted to be in there when the community was still new.
Yep.
And there's like some French guy and like that has like all of the stars in the fucking world right now. He's an asshole.
Yeah. Fuck.
It was a crazy thing. I'm thinking about switching my settings so that I only find levels from people who are quote local. And
Oh, you
just-
mean, like-
just see how
see what you-
things go. Like see if there's if I can notice a difference. Because also
Yeah.
sometimes levels are named things in other languages that I don't know what they mean.
Well,
And
yeah. like
sometimes
all
I'm
the-
just curious.
all the Japanese levels, obviously.
I don't usually get a lot of Japanese levels when I just play like 100 Mario. They
I
usually
got like half
really
easily.
I
Yeah.
get some, But most of mine are, I'd say most of mine are European. Like half
Yeah.
of mine are European, and then like 25 are from America, and 25 are from Japan or Asia.
Yeah.
I think I played a Chinese one once. Wait, no,
Fuck.
that's not possible.
That's not possible yet.
Not yet.
Uh,
Console ban's been lifted. It's just that's up to Nintendo to make a move.
Yeah.
Your move, Nintendo. Mario Maker in China. Do it.
They might.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I played some Chinese levels. I don't give a fuck. It's just, yeah, I mean, like, just the possibility of that game. Just like, there's basically endless amounts of Mario to be played.
Oh,
which
yeah.
I know you're not super keen on because you don't like Mario games, as you once drunkenly confessed to me and everyone else who listens to this podcast.
I did.
But that's a very interesting idea. Yeah, I'm sure even you can see the worth in that.
Oh, I do, for sure.
30 years of Mario just being recreated endlessly. Just being able to play just literally an infinite... Not literally.
There's some, like,
But-
basic feature stuff about that game that I kind of just wish was there. Like,
Tell me.
being able to, like, actually search levels and filter and stuff would be super nice.
What would you be searching for and filtering?
I more want to filter out. Like, as much as I think the auto-playing levels are cool,
I don't think I've ever played one of those.
they're like...
People don't make those.
They're like most of the really popular ones. In, like, the course world.
Oh, you mean the don't press any button or just hold
Yeah.
right and run? Oh, I thought you meant like the auto-scrolling ones, because you can set like auto-scroll.
Yep. No, it's...
Fiercely debating with myself if I should make my airship level an auto-scrolling level.
I mean, aren't all airship levels?
Yeah,
scrolling?
but also when you add when you add auto scroll to an airship level, it makes it bob up and down, kind of like it did in the original game. But it
Yeah.
it doesn't quite look right. It doesn't. I don't know. The implementation is just a little bit different in this game. It's just not quite there, but maybe I'll still. I don't know. Fiercely debating with myself. I don't know why I'm treating every level like a magnum opus. Which is a personal problem that I have with a lot of my stuff. So, what else? Sorry, what else do you want to see from Super Mario Maker? Some basic stuff that is missing.
It would be really cool if there was some way for a player to upload, like, a collection of levels,
That'd
so
be
you
cool.
could, like, play through a series just by one person
That would be cool.
instead of, like, you know. I think like the 100 Mario thing is super neato. It's like pulling random levels from the internet, blah blah blah. But I think like the personal, like, the way you interact with, like, the rest of the levels that are just in there, to, like, actually try to find stuff to play in any meaningful way is pretty much random and crappy.
Yeah. Okay. That's definitely true. But I personally don't know if they gave me better search options. I don't know what I would go looking for. Like,
Yeah, I don't know how I would find them.
that's why I think that
Like, if they were to have some sort of, like, tagging system, and then when you did the 100 Mario, you'll be like, no auto scroll, no Super Mario Bros. Original, no amiibos or whatever. If there were a way to, like, filter the stuff that you get while pulling from the random stuff, that would be neato.
yeah, I can see some worth to that. I just think that 100 Mario mode is like kind of the bread and butter, because you might not know you want to play a certain type of level. Like
Until
that
you
that
do.
Atlantis level was an underwater level. I don't
Yeah.
get a particularly large amount of pleasure playing underwater levels, but I'm really genuinely glad that I played that level, because it was more unique.
Yeah.
That being said, I was totally not like I said before, I was not afraid to just say fuck this level and skip it.
Oh, definitely.
But it was definitely like if I had filled it out water levels, I never would have played that, and that wouldn't kind of suck. Like, I think that maybe we don't know what we want to play, which is why I love the 100 Mario mode. You just and definitely you're gonna get stuff that are lemons, stuff that's just stupid.
Yeah.
But also you can get something that's just like, wow, that was really amazing.
Yeah, that's cool shit.
Because yeah, I mean, what I'm saying is I would have no idea what to search for. Which
Yeah,
is why I like the randomness.
I think implementing a tagging system that is like, system wide, like not user created tags, but like after like a few months they figure out, okay, what kinds of levels are people making, and implement like some sort of tag system where you play a level and it's like, okay, this level has X, Y, and Z, you put tags on it, and then you could be like, I don't want to play any of these.
Yeah, I guess like filtering out like New Super Mario Brothers,
Yeah,
and
stuff like that.
Underwater and like the autoplay ones, it'd be kind of interesting. But ultimately, if I was searching through a list of even with those removed, I can't look at a level and look at a creator and just be like, yeah, fucking that looks good.
Yeah,
That's why I just like to say, Hunter Mario, just fucking put one bullet in the gun and spin the chamber and just pull the trigger. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah, we'll see. Nintendo is no longer opposed to changing their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That game will probably exist for a very long time in its current form, or like in a very, very similar form, but just some minor tweaks.
Mm-hmm.
But they might be adding changing some stuff, so we'll see how that advances. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it came out really well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Video games.
We play video games. That's what this podcast is about. We played another game. What game do you want to talk about next?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Right. Well, Aaron, I want you to tell me about a horror game that you played this week.
Oh, okay. So I played Destiny.
Oh, you fucker. There's nothing wrong with that game. Don't make me get into this.
There's a lot wrong with that game, Nick.
Okay, say there's nothing wrong with that game is obviously hyperbole because it's not perfect. But there is not as much wrong with that game as the man would lead you to believe.
Maybe.
We'll get into that in a moment.
So, on a whim, I purchased Until Dawn.
Interesting.
Which is a horror game on the PS4. It just came out maybe a couple weeks ago. I don't fucking know.
Like 2 weeks ago, I think,
Yeah.
maybe. Can I tell you my experience so far? Like, I heard about Until Dawn. It kind of came out of nowhere. And I was like, oh, a horror game? A modern horror game that supposedly looks really good? I would like to play one of those.
Looks pretty
I
good.
like horror games that look good.
Yep.
And then just like, oh, it's kind of like a slasher film. And I was like, throw it right in the garbage. Don't worry about having to buy that game. Fuck that.
Oh, man, that's kind of like my favorite part.
I can see how people would like it, but that's not... I don't do that.
It's like a really bad slasher film in like the best ways.
I can appreciate that for sure.
There's like campy teenager tropes and fucking. Man,
I appreciate all of those things, but I didn't grow up watching Freddy and Jason and all that stuff, so I don't care even a little bit.
I don't either.
I can't get into it.
I don't either. And the best part about this game was I wasn't scared the whole time, so that was fun.
It sounds awful.
That was great. There were like a couple of jump scares. There was a lot of tension, which I liked.
I do like tension.
It wasn't like, really bad fear. It was just like, oh man, I know something bad's gonna happen. What is it? And then it happens, and I'm like, oh shit, I did it.
Man, I don't know. It's just
plot twists. And you're killing off teenagers, and I don't think you're supposed to be.
I think you said you're killing off teenagers like that's something you're supposed to be doing. I think the point is that they should kind of all be alive.
Well, there's like one character that I fucking hate, and she refuses to die.
Dude, that's awesome.
Oh
my. Okay, that's where a game like this kind of shines. Is when you're just like, they're telling me this story. I'm gonna make this story my own a little bit.
Well, I think it has that, like... Did you play Heavy Rain ever?
I didn't.
Okay.
Didn't do that.
Well, this is gonna be a pointless
And I-
story for
and
you.
I was
then.
even like, I should ask Ryan to let me borrow Heavy Rain so I can just play it. And I was like, I don't even fucking want to do that.
I don't even
Like, I was
fucking
like,
want
I
to do
could.
that.
He would totally agree to that. I could play that game for free, and it's like I don't even want to.
Well, okay, so the way that game worked was if somebody died in your story, it drastically altered the plot. Like, drastically.
I did know that.
Because, like, yeah, so in this game, it arguably works the same way. So I can imagine certain characters being killed off, quote-unquote, early would severely fuck the game's plot up in the best way.
But you can tell that the plot wouldn't just continue on with just like their line of dialogue said by someone else.
There are certain characters that I almost want to go back and play this game through again. I'm not done with it,
should.
but I'm pretty close. I would definitely want to go back and try to kill off a character early and see what happens.
Like one of these people who you consider to be like a main character.
Yeah. They're all sort of main characters. There are some that are definitely expendable, and the game tells you that when you kill them and then they die forever. Yeah.
But wait, does that mean there are characters who can't die?
There are characters that seem, no matter how hard I fuck up their sequences, they get through it. And so I'm wondering if there are certain characters that cannot die for any reason.
Isn't Hayden
besides,
Panettiere in that game?
She is.
Crazy. Is she one of the ones who is unkillable?
So far.
Man, it's
Spoilers,
like
by the way. I don't know.
It's like Heroes all over again, man.
I bet I could have fucked up and killed her.
Indestructible
I don't
cheerleader.
know.
You should try and kill her next time you play.
No,
Just
I
see what
like her.
happens.
She's a. Oh, the next time I play through, I'm gonna try to kill everybody.
Awesome.
That'll be-
Apparently, there is a
that'd be
way
fun.
to save everyone. I've also heard that maybe the killer is different depending on how you play the game, which doesn't make
I
any
haven't heard
sense.
that. That's
but
super interesting.
I think those are just some whispers I've heard, kind of through Twitter, whatever. Just kind of.
I've heard
nothing really
I've heard
serious, but-
the branching paths of this game are incredibly branching. There are a few sequences where you make a bunch of this or that kind of decisions, and I think that has a lot to affect certain aspects of the game. Not to spoil anything for anyone, but at one point they ask you, "What are you more afraid of, heights or drowning?" I picked heights because it's true. And so they're putting me in a lot of
man.
scenarios where I have to climb up things and be scared about falling to my death.
If
So I
this-
think,
Oh.
yeah. What?
If this is just like a next generation version interpretation of Silent Hill Shattered Memories, fucking sold, dude. Shattered Memories is so good.
I don't know that game
It did
at all.
It did a lot of that. Oh, you don't? That's
I
a
don't know that
game.
game.
That's a game that you should play because it's not super scary, and there aren't there aren't really there's chase sequences, but the enemies don't there's investigation and spooky stuff modes,
Yeah.
and then
Is
there's
it puzzles and stuff?
there's some light puzzle, yeah.
Okay.
But it's mostly just exploring the woods, and you find you get cell phone calls on your Wii remote, or you get a picture
Yeah.
sent to your phone that's spooky, and it kind of tells some different stories of the people who used to live there or did live or are living there now or whatever. But
Yeah.
then there'll be a chase sequence thing that's really not hard at all. But it's more it's like a psychological thriller. They profile you and they have you do some thing. It sounds exactly because I know isn't in Until Dawn it's broken up by psychologist segments.
Yeah, there's a psychologist segments in the game, and yeah, it does serve as the episode finale. You'll play through a chunk of the game, and then you end up in the psychologist's office, and he usually asks you some questions.
Yeah, they kind of did that in Shattered Memories too, and it
Yeah.
would kind of psychologically profile you and there are multiple different endings depending on how you played the game. And this is a Wii game, so it's kind of like the tech didn't exist to have like all the infinitely branching everything.
Right.
But it was like apparently you could like in the first area of the game, you'd stumble upon like a house in like the city, and it's like a garage, like a auto body shop or something, whatever generic business place. And there's a men's bathroom and a girl's bathroom. And you walked in the girl's bathroom first, the game would kind of be like, that's one like pervert point, which is kind of that's not what they like. I don't know why people were playing that game just like, yeah, but there's some hot chicks in there, man. Like, that's not why people picked it, but they kind of did like tried to do these things where like it analyze your actions as opposed to just telling you like press X to not get killed or whatever. Right. I don't actually know enough about Until Dawn to speak about it, but it did a lot of interesting stuff, and I'm definitely getting. You're reminding me a lot of it as you tell me about Until Dawn. It makes me kind of happy. Dawn,
I like that game. It's definitely too much money. Like,
it's a full price game, I'm assuming.
Full price game.
How long would you say a playthrough lasts?
HowLongToBeat.com puts it at about 7.5 hours, I think.
That's actually pretty. That's a pretty reasonable length.
I'm gonna say that that's a gross overestimation, and I'm probably gonna clock in at about 6, unless there's like a giant plot twist that takes the game in a direction story-wise that makes it much longer. But I feel like I'm at the end because I almost beat it in one sitting.
Interesting.
I put like 5 hours into it. I booted it up. I'm like, well, I can't stop.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I really like it. It's definitely like outside of my wheelhouse, but like the game itself, actually playing, is not that hard. It's like walking around, noticing stuff, and then quick time events. That's about it. It's not like a challenging mechanically game. Mechanically game.
Something to be said about that, I think.
Well, after like playing a bunch of MGS5 and like platformings and Marios, I was like, man, you know what would feel good? Pushing square when I'm supposed to.
Is this game made by like a developer of any renown? Like, do we know other games that these people have worked on?
Let's see. Supermassive?
Sounds really familiar. No, that sounds really familiar.
Dawn, Walking with Dinosaurs.
Yep.
They made the Vita version of Little Big Planet.
Walking with Dinosaurs. That's the one that I know.
They made that Doctor Who game.
Oh, no.
They made a game called Start the Party.
It's good. Just called Supermassive Games?
Mm-hmm. It's some British developer. It looks like they were making like a bunch of kids games, besides Killzone.
They did make Killzone. Is this a PS4 exclusive?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, right, it is.
Yeah.
Striker, Doctor Who. Kind of interested in Walking with Dinosaurs now. Oh, man, it's a PlayStation Move game.
Which?
Walking with Dinosaurs. You have a camera, and you have like a book, and it puts dinosaurs, like, projects them on the book.
Oh, uses Wonder Book.
Dude.
Book.
Sick. I love dinosaurs. I'm not even kidding right now. That's cool, though.
Yeah, no, Until Dawn is cool. It's... I don't know. I like it. I like it.
You know how I know they're British?
How?
Because I went to their website, and there's a little thing in the corner explaining to me about what cookies are. Because in the UK, they have to disclose all sorts of information about cookies and what they add, like the cookies they put in your browser and the information they collect. It's true, man. You feel like taking a break, or do you want to talk more about the greatness that is Until Dawn.
We should take a break.
All right, that sounds okay. Welcome back, everyone. This is still the Bear vs. Mancast, the video game podcast about nothing. We're going to continue talking about video games now. We teased a little bit earlier, but Destiny has been played.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, believe it or not. The Taken King, the big Destiny expansion, and that brings it into year 2 of the Destiny experience, their 10-year plan, or whatever the heck is going on with them.
Yeah.
Kind of add some stuff that changed some infrastructure in the game, changed the way gear works and stuff like that. I talked a little about it last week, but apparently it's a big enough release. Ryan took it upon himself to play a little bit more Destiny.
I did play some Destiny.
So, having played more Destiny, what do you think? Why do you think Destiny is so bad?
Okay. Destiny is like mechanically really tight.
Okay, that's all I wanted to hear you say, but continue.
It's like it shoots really good. Some of the stuff you do feels really good. It has some pretty decent game feel. That game is shallow as fuck.
How so?
Just like story and lore wise, it's like if
you didn't start caring about the story in games till like 2 years ago.
Yeah, but there are like 0 identifiable characters in that game.
So they tried
added
really
identifiable
hard.
characters.
Yeah, they did actually. They tried really hard. Because I've played through almost all of the Taken King content at this point.
Oh, really?
They tried really hard to add identifiable characters, and they did a good job at adding them. But the characters are kind of
Are they
meh.
just bad? Oh,
Yeah, they're
man.
so. Yeah, they kind of took some characters that existed, the kind of like your class advisors, and they turned them into characters, and they took some characters from other expansions and they made them characters too, and like kind of fleshed them out and gave them real voices and stuff. And then they took like the only 2 characters who spoke besides you, your ghost, and a mysterious robot lady from the first year of Destiny, like the vanilla Destiny. They took those other 2 characters who spoke, the Queen of the Awoken and her brother, and I think they killed them. And then replaced them with some kind of other characters. And the hunter guy is this kind of wisecracking robot whose everything he says is really cliche, and a lot of it is like attempted humor that misses the mark. And also, so another thing they did with the release of the Taken King was they took all of Peter Dinklage's dialogue in the game, who was previously your personal digital companion, your ghost, and just erased it from history and redid all of his lines. They had Nolan North come in, famed video game voice actor Nolan North come in, re-record all the lines, record a bunch of new ones for this, and it's different now.
It's fine.
It's still not good.
It's not good.
As it turns out, there was nothing wrong with necessarily how Peter Dinklage was doing it. It was solely the things that he was being told to say.
I think, like, going back to my point of this game is really shallow, all of the writing and the characters are, like, super designed to be, quote-unquote, appealing to everyone. And in doing so, I think they just didn't really develop interesting characters.
How so?
Everyone you meet is very the same in every way. And even like there's like the funny lady who I just met on the moon again. I don't know what her deal is, but she just seems like I'm the secret shadow lady.
She's called the Stranger. Okay?
She's called the Stranger?
Yeah, she's called the Stranger, and she has robot boobs.
Who the fuck writes this shit?
Somebody at Bungie. I don't know.
She sucks.
What's you don't even know anything about her. She's tropey, but she's fine. Like
yeah, fine doesn't keep me engaged with your narrative.
Why are you trying to engage with the narrative in this game? This is the part that confuses me the most.
Because if I'm going to play an MMO, I need to care about why I'm doing the thing.
Oh, get the heck out of here.
It's true.
I mean, we appreciate WoW a lot because of the lore of the understanding of the lore that we have from playing previous Warcraft games.
Yes.
But, like, once vanilla WoW came out, like, when you were, like, leveling to 60, were they really giving you, like, story that was enriching that lore in a deep and meaningful way?
Well, I mean, no.
It was just words
but, like,
that
there
carried
were
you
definitely
from quest zone to
beats
quest zone.
That I liked.
There are quest zones that have like story things. It's like some wacky goblin needs to repair his goblin thing.
There's nothing. There's no heart. There's no like little funny anecdotes. There's nothing. It's just you do the thing. You do your job. You shoot the guy.
So they definitely, if that's the kind of stuff you're looking for, they add a little bit of that in like the newer missions.
I feel better.
They definitely kind of took their criticism to heart, but it also at the same time, the people who wrote it seemed like they're just like, we don't know how to write this shit. You know what I mean? Like, we're inexperienced with writing this kind of content, and so it doesn't come off as it comes off as kind of amateurish. But it seems like they really were paying attention to the complaints people had about the narrative in the original game.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like you said, it's an MMO. So, like,
I'm waiting for me to find the thing that makes me give a shit about it, because so far
the gameplay, brosif.
That it's not enough.
That gameplay, man.
It's not enough. The story missions are like super dry. Like I probably would think this game is way funner if I always played with a crew.
Yeah, definitely. I was actually going to mention that.
It's like,
some of the social elements get lost in people who are just in it to play for themselves. Like if someone picked up this game expecting it to be like, oh, Bungie, those guys made Halo. This is probably Halo 5. They are going to be really disappointed.
Oh, definitely.
Except for when they realize that like the character movement and the gunplay and everything else was just tight, and like
it's super tight.
The stuff they did for like, well, I think you already said it was tight. Like
it's super tight.
And then, like, oh, you just, like, get a speeder out of nowhere, and it, like, feels good to control, and, like, it sounds cool. Like, there's, like, good stuff here. There's some missed potential, for sure. But I think that this new expansion recoups a little bit of it, like adding the quest tracking system, and actually kind of telling you where to go next. It's very World of Warcraft-y.
Yes.
Kind of saying like, oh, so you did, oh, congratulations, you got through the exclusion zone on Mars. Now you have to go find the Eye of a Gate Lord.
Yep.
And it just shows you on the map, like, there's a purple crown of, like, this is where the Gate Lord's eye is.
Yeah.
That's super helpful. I also heard that with the release of this, they remixed the order of levels in the vanilla game. And they even may have, like, I think if you own, like, all the content, they may have remixed it in such a way that you play through everything in like a different order, so you're not just like vanilla game, first expansion, second expansion, third expansion. It's like they kind of like interlink now to be a little bit more cohesive, which is why I think you had to play that mission twice, because you beat it way back, like when the game first came out, because it's one of the first 8 missions or so.
I never like got through the whole game.
Right, so
I'm still not done.
Halfway through, you get like when you get to the part where they put it into the remixed version, and they want you to do it again, which is a little bit weird, but maybe it's for the best. The way that they remixed it.
the enemies, while they were like really really weak, like I was like level 19 and they were like level 7. They did a buttload of damage to me, so I'm like wondering if they scaled.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's everything is scaled. I mean, I was cruising around the Cosmodrome today, and although I'm max level now, but I was like level 38 at the time,
Yeah.
and I was obviously like working dudes over, but there's still very much potential to be killed if you're not careful. Like,
Yeah.
gear helps a lot, but ultimately you can't do so. Like, your gun will have an attack stat. And if you're level 4 and they're level 4, it may have changed just a little bit with the new expansion because they changed the way some of that stuff works. But if you're level 4 and they're level 4, you can only do like maximum 50 damage per shot. And even if you're level 40 and they're level 4, you still only do 50 damage per shot.
So it's about whatever the level of the enemy is, and not necessarily how strong you are.
Well, it does certainly help to have a better gun. Because, like I said, I was still easily like 1 or 2 shotting every enemy, but I wasn't doing like 1,000 like if I'm fighting an enemy at my current level and I get a headshot, it's like 1,500 damage. A headshot on these guys is like 200, but still way more than enough to waste them.
Shot a dude with a hand cannon in the fucking head.
Oh yeah,
I did like 1,000 damage, and I'm like, okay,
yeah, dude, it's great.
That feels good.
It's so good. And so like when you're leveling, I can see how it kind of can get boring if you're just doing story missions, but if you're kind of engaging with like some of like the daily story mission aspect of it that existed originally, and doing like strike playlists and stuff.
I mean, I definitely want to get up to a high level so I can play with you and then be like, okay, maybe this is worth a shot.
We'll have to get Joe back up to that level too, because I don't think he participated really in the previous, like the second expansion. But it doesn't take very much to level in this game anymore. You do some bounties.
No, I got literally from like level 16 to 22 this morning.
I got to level from 34 to 40 in like legitimately like 3.5 hours of gameplay, because I haven't really been able to play that much.
Here's a question that I have.
Sure.
Did you buy the Tanking King?
The Tankin' King? The Danky King?
Yeah.
I did buy the Taken King. So
do I have to buy the Taken King?
If you want to get past level 4.
How do I buy the Taken King? Because I went on to the Xbox store.
Yes.
And it wasn't an option to purchase.
It should have been, because that's how I bought it. You can just go, and since you already own the game and the expansion pass, all you have to do is go to...
I don't own the expansion pass.
I think you... Oh, no, you're right, you don't.
I don't own that.
Oh,
do I have to buy that?
I don't know how that's going to work then.
Uh-oh.
I just don't know.
Ryan doesn't know.
I know they might have a bundle that's just all DLC. I know they released a $60 download and disc version of the game that has it. That's
all
the
stuff.
Destiny Battle Chest.
Yeah.
Which is really good considering Taken King is $40 by itself.
Is it really?
Yeah, but I
don't own any of this garbage.
So yeah, you have the Dark Below and the House of Wolves. I don't know if they do it WoW style, or if you can just skip over it. I just genuinely don't know.
Here's the part that I'm confused about is like when I go boot into my like character, like my destination thing, I can go to the Reef where one of those takes place.
The Reef is just like a social zone, like the Tower. But there's obviously going to be content and activities and story missions that you can't do because you don't have the expansion. Most likely, no one really wants to. Like, no one really has anything to say to you because you don't have that content available.
So I have to buy this again, is what you're saying.
I'm not sure. You're definitely going to have to buy the Taken King. I don't know what happens if you just buy the Taken King. I don't know what happens at that point.
Weird.
Like, you just have the base game of the Taken King. I don't know what happens. It'd be something worth looking into.
This is butts.
But at least everyone gets the Destiny 2.0 makeover with the quest system and stuff like that, which is cool.
Yeah,
very WoW,
happened.
very WoW-like.
That helped me out a lot because when I went in there, I'm like, oh, okay, these are all the things I have to do. Which I feel like in the past I was like, I don't know what I need to do ever.
Yeah, and
so I just did patrols.
Yeah, patrols. I've come to love patrols.
Yeah.
So the one thing that Destiny is missing is a freaking map.
I'd kill someone for a map.
Yeah, I just eventually just played that game enough that I've memorized Earth. I know the Earth map like at the back of my hand because I just hang out on it so much.
Yeah.
But man, it really just I can't believe there's no like you press the start button and it just shows you like a basic topographic map of your area.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We'll have to wait till D3, year 3 of Destiny.
Oh, maybe.
But yeah, with this expansion, they also added another subclass for each class, which means every class can be each
Three
of the
specs?
elemental. Yeah, 3 specs.
Sick.
And so now they each have all 3 elements available to them, which is very cool.
Yeah.
But it means you have an influx of people playing as that class that they just got forever. Like every fire team you join with someone you don't know, and every Crucible match you play, it'll be just everyone using the spec that they didn't have 2 days ago. Which I think it's kind of an issue in MMOs. So when you introduce a new character class or something, and just everyone uses it, I'm just like, fucking kill me. It's like WoW, like Demon Hunters, and just can never queue for a dungeon again because everyone's playing Demon Hunter. There's no healers ever.
Yeah, but nobody plays monks anymore.
That's not true.
Monks are like
leveled.
Monks are the second least played class, right above rogues.
It's because rogues suck,
You
and monks are basically just better rogues.
Oh man, am I the class that gets the subclass with the hammer?
Yep.
Oh, that's sick.
That is, I'm. So I have all 3 characters, and they were max level in the last expansion, and I got my main, my warlock to level 40, and I became a Stormcaller, and I get like sick like Sith like force lightning. Float around and just like pew choo 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 choo.
Isn't one of them a support class now?
I don't think any of these new ones are really support classes, but they all have elements. Like when you spec out your class, you get kind of a talent tree. You get like those different columns, and you can pick one from each. And so, like the Stormcaller has an ability that when you drop to low health, like your shield goes down, you start spending health. You and everyone else gets an 8-second like burst of speed. So it's like kind of supporty.
Okay.
But like if I took like the next thing down that category, it'd be more like about solo slaying or I don't know. I don't even know. I haven't looked at the whole class yet, but I have an ability that like when I'm near other people, my super charges a little bit faster. Which is like, oh yeah, because like if you're playing a fire team, you can kind of spec it this way, or so like your class, you're playing Titan, so you have the Striker, which is definitely like DPS. It's all about dishing out the damage,
shooting stuff.
Very cool class, in my opinion. And
very fun.
Smash stuff with shoulder tackle, sick.
Yeah.
And then you have Defender, which your super is like a bubble shield. So like obviously that's more of a support class. I don't think all of these 3 new ones, all their classes are about just fucking shit up. There's no healing spell or super or anything like that. But there's different shades of it depending on how you spec it.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's different. It's not so like cut and dry as like this is a support, this is a tank, Yeah.
I mean, I guess at the end of the day, they need everybody to shoot stuff.
Oh yeah, there's got
when you're
to
playing.
still be plenty of shooting stuff.
Yeah.
I play the defender sometimes when I'm playing with my friends, and that's pretty rewarding. That feels pretty good. You
I
like
should
have a
level
good
that up.
bubble shield and what?
I should level that up. Not leveled. My defender subclass is not leveled, Nick.
Well, that's fine. Oh, that's the
Is
thing.
it?
It's a matter of opinion. I mean, my friends and
Yeah.
I are all our main characters are warlocks. We just go in there and we basically don't look at team composition at all, and we just like fuck it. Although
I
we'll
guess it
play.
doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter. I mean, we make it a little bit easier on ourselves, and for like really hard missions, we'll all play Sunsinger, and they have an ability to let you resurrect yourself. Like if your super becomes like a self-resurrection ability if you use it when you're dead.
Yeah.
So we usually, for like the really hard missions, we'll all use that. Because generally we're just shooting anyways, it doesn't really matter. And then if we need to, things get really hairy, then we can just pop it and revive. And that's kind of our way of playing support.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of interesting things you can do with team composition. A lot of this game strives, in playing in a group, playing that 3-man fire team.
Yeah.
That's kind of the best way to. That's how I've had the most fun. I know if you've got like a big group of people you play with and you like doing raids, I get that. I don't have that same interest in raiding because I can't find that big group to play with who all play at the same time, and I don't want to meet up with random people. That doesn't. I'm not so obsessed with getting good gear that I'm interested in like meeting up with random people to do the raid like that.
Yeah.
That's just the kind of person I am. If they ever put in like LFR in this game, I'll probably jump in there, give it a shot, read up about the fight, the encounter or whatever. But I really like the changes they made in the Taken King so far. I'm haven't had a chance to really play with anyone else. I'm going to see kind of what the new end game content is like pretty soon. Now that I'm 40, and see like, are we back to just doing strikes all the time? Which might be
Yeah.
okay because there's more strikes, and we play on Xbox One. We just got the PS4 exclusive stuff. The
shit.
2 strikes and some of the weapons. Although some of the weapons are also going to be obsolete going into the second year. Some of the exclusive weapons, which
Yeah.
is kind of like, fuck you guys. Like what the fuck? But that's okay.
You still get to do it.
Yeah, so like some
guess.
of the strikes that I wound up doing one of the strikes that was previously PS4 exclusive that I thought was pretty okay. There's only a limited number of strikes, so when you do a playlist and they're given to you randomly, it's good to just have any amount of variety. But I'm going to see kind of what the end game of the Taken King is like. Because like I said last week, they changed light instead of being your level. It's now your gear score.
Yeah.
It's your item level. So like although I'm level 40, I've only got like one piece of like good level 40 gear, and I need to find several more pieces before I'm good enough to start doing some of that like more advanced stuff and get the better gear. And I'm gonna have to see what's required of me in that situation, and kind of see if I really care about pursuing like that.
Yeah.
That grind, like not that. I mean, it can be a grind for sure, but I'm gonna see if it's as much of a grind in the Taken King, or if it's really worth kind of putting in the time just to have better gear and say like, oh, I have better gear now.
Yeah.
They said they're kind of reforming that sort of stuff because they don't want it to be as grindy.
That'd be nice.
They don't want it to be based on just. They acknowledged for sure. Base Destiny, there was too much RNG. Like good gear versus bad gear was determined solely by the roll of a dice, and they're like, that's not the game we wanted to make. It's like when WoW added Valor points for people who did a lot of heroic stuff and just didn't get good drops. They could usually have a consolation there. I mean, they don't have a system like that. Well, they kind of do. You can get these legendary marks, and certain activities give you legendary marks, but also a chance to drop stuff. I don't view it the same way, though. I always thought the point of getting those marks was to get the marks and buy exactly what you wanted. When in WoW, I always thought of Valor points as being like, oh, you didn't get anything? no,
I can get a thing that
You
kind of
can-
is okay.
you can buy a thing that's kind of like
Yeah.
what you wanted. You're like, oh, thanks. So yeah, they took some of the criticism to heart. In terms of both the story and the grinding and the social elements and stuff. So now that I'm kind of at that end game stage, I'm gonna be very curious to see how it all shakes out. If they really did improve it, or if it's just more of the same.
Definitely. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, that game's just tight. Game still feels so good to play that I can willing to overlook some of the sillier stuff.
I like popping dudes in the head with my head cannon.
Oh, dude, because it's a Bungie game, the hand cannon is just unstoppable.
It's fucking good.
That's Bungie cannon.
Ugh.
Oh,
Can we
man.
talk about news?
Yeah, we gotta think of a new segment, a new name for the segment.
Um,
Because news is not necessarily always what we talk about at this point.
stuff.
Yeah, you want to talk about stuff?
Yeah, let's talk about stuff.
Hey, Brian, did you play Frog Fractions 2 this week?
No, did you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Unless it's Super Mario Maker. That'd
Unless
be
it's Until
fucking,
Dawn.
fucking nuts if Super Mario Maker was Frog Fractions 2.
That'd be bananas.
Unless it's Dropsy, the Hug Venture.
I've never heard of that.
It's a point-and-click game where you play as a clown.
Oh. Okay.
Apparently there are no
Well,
words in it. I saw it on Steam. It looks interesting. But
Frog Fractions 2 needs words.
yeah, dude. Oh, I don't know. That guy's crazy.
I bet you that guy raised whatever money on his Kickstarter, and then he's like, see you later, fucker.
Like, yeah, I'll probably make something eventually. Fuck you all. And then drove away
Yeah.
in his, like, Lamborghini.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of Super Mario Maker,
Yep.
they've announced that Super Smash Brothers for the Nintendo 3DS and Nintendo Wii U will be getting a new stage that you can buy for $2.50 or $3 for both, or whatever the fuck they've been doing.
Yeah.
A Mario Maker stage.
The stage looks dope.
What a good idea.
It's super cool. It's it's
apparently-
fucking random.
Apparently, it's very, very different every time you play it. So that
Super
sounds
exciting.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
That's a stage.
And well, we're on the subject of Nintendo.
Oh.
Nintendo has a new president.
It's true.
His name is Tatsumi Kimishima.
Yeah.
He
He used to do a bunch of Pokemon Company stuff.
Yeah, he was head of the Pokemon Company at one
Yeah.
point. Let's
And
see. Before
Also, he was president of Nintendo of America for a little while.
really,
Yeah, he was the guy before Reggie.
there is nothing before Reggie. He is the alpha.
Exactly.
He's the alpha, and there will be nothing after him. He is the alpha and the omega.
It's true. The sun and the moon. My shining star and the darkest night.
Apparently, he was also a general manager of a branch of a bank called the Sanwa Bank.
That's a bank.
Also, apparently, I didn't get a chance to read this whole article, but he's been made the president under sort of like provisory terms, like
He's the guy for like a little while.
for like a year, unless like
I mean, being the president of Nintendo is probably a big deal, and they want to see how he does before they're like, okay, here you go.
yeah. I mean, there's a very good chance that they'll keep him unless he like totally fucks up. But they're kind of saying like, kind of covering their asses, being like,
Yeah.
that's probably the way to do it.
Yeah.
He also said that, really, his opinion, he's a frowny man. Have you seen pictures of this guy?
I have. He looks a little upset.
He's very frowny. He doesn't look like he's
Yeah.
having fun. But then again, Iwata wasn't super smiley either. Not like Miyamoto.
Iwata looked like a serious guy all the time. So,
Yeah, pretty much. But this guy
well,
said
nobody can be like Miyamoto.
he apparently went on record saying that he wasn't a supporter of the Wii U because he thought that it was too similar to the Wii.
Well, it's true. It is.
There's a certain amount of truth to that statement. Yes. And I also would say that maybe the gamepad that was the defining factor, like the differentiating factor, didn't really make sense until like last
September 11th,
Friday.
2015.
Yes, exactly. When they validated everyone's concerns about the gamepad by making Super Mario Maker a game that literally would not work without that thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we're gonna see how he does. They also promoted some other people to the role of fellow. So Genyo Takeda, who created Punch Out, and he's a general manager right now with the research and development division. He's been made the technology fellow.
Yep.
And Shigeru Miyamoto has also been promoted. Apparently, he was the general manager of the entertainment and analysis division.
Oh.
All of this stuff sounds crazy. Like, I can't
Yes.
even believe I'm reading these things. He's now the creative fellow, which,
Those sound the
fucking
same.
yeah, I bet he'd
Yeah.
be really good at that. Sure. It's probably just like overseeing more.
He's the creative guy.
He is the creative guy until he dies, and then he won't be the creative guy anymore.
Hey, shut your fucking hole.
That guy look old, dog.
Yeah, he does. I'm scared.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. The people who have been they've been keeping it within the company.
Yeah.
Which is kind of how you have to do these things. I imagine it's kind of like when they elect a new pope.
They go in a room and they light the candle.
I can only assume that they were burning something that let you know when they decide that there could be a new president. But
Yeah. Yeah.
so we'll see. This guy's got a year to prove himself, and Nintendo's got kind of an interesting year ahead of it already with the new mobile games and stuff like that. Did you know that Pokemon Shuffle is out on mobile?
Sure. Yeah, who cares?
Did you know that?
I did.
That game's decent, and it's probably
No.
way better on mobile.
It's free to play garbage.
It is free to play, and it really walks the line on
Garbage.
garbage, but I don't think it's really that bad.
It's garbage.
Hey, you want to keep talking about Nintendo? Fuck you, Ryan. You want to keep talking about Nintendo?
Now if we're gonna talk about fucking Pokemon Shuffle.
We're going to talk about Gene Ibun Roku, #FE.
Oh, that's my favorite game.
And how that game is coming out in Japan on December 26th of this year.
Holy shit.
Oh, but
Holy
no information about... This was announced at TGS, I'm pretty sure. So,
Probably.
no clue when it's coming out over here. But we'll probably get it eventually.
Man, that game looks fucking tight.
For all we know, next week, Reggie will send everyone an email that says, like, yeah, simultaneous international release, and just drop the mic.
Bitch.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
Yeah.
Reggie, that word that Reggie says all the time. Yeah, that like we've kind of salivated over that game before. It seems
I have.
fucking crazy. It's kind of my maybe the coolest game I saw at E3 this year. So, or the
Good
game
stuff.
that I was captivated the most by, which is kind of weird, but I think that's all we have for Nintendo. So, podcast over.
Yeah, sure.
Well, there's some other details coming out from TGS, the Tokyo Game Show, like
Yeah.
Gravity Rush 2 coming to the PS4. Remember Gravity Rush?
Yep.
Don't you like that game?
Sure, it's fine.
I thought you liked that game.
It's fine. Yeah.
So you don't like that game?
Sure, it's fine.
Ryan, do you like Gravity Rush?
Hey, sure, it's fine.
You're not answering the question. It's a yes or no question.
I've never played it.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
I swore that you told me at one point that you liked that game.
I played 20 minutes of it. One time.
So it wasn't particularly captivating, otherwise you probably would have played more than that.
Probably.
So Gravity Rush is like it's kind of a take on the 3D platformer. Would you say that's an accurate description?
Yeah.
That's like you kind of jump from like floating object to floating object, and like each thing has its own different field of gravity, and it's kind of got a cool perspective. It's a Vita game, which is unfortunate. So it means I never played it because I don't have one of those.
You didn't miss out on the Vita.
Looks like they're also remastering the first one.
I think that statement is true.
Remastering the first one, bringing it to PS4 with the DLC that was added.
Yep.
It seems like that's pretty. It seems to me like it's got a pretty fun, basic gameplay. Maybe they can improve upon it in Gravity Rush 2.
Yeah, if you like running on the sides of buildings, this game's for you.
Yeah, it seems like a very dynamic game.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I'm watching the trailer for the second one. It looks pretty.
Yeah, definitely.
There's some combat. She's punched a bad guy. Oh, those guys have guns? This game looks kind of cool. I don't know if I want to pay full price for it or anything, but
yeah.
Kingdom Hearts. It's called Kingdom Hearts 2.8.
What the fuck is that?
Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. It's a prequel prologue thingy that's actually a combination of 3 different games.
I'm gonna throw up all over Tetsuya Nomura.
Because it wasn't complicated enough already. I guess the idea is that it's just like the final missing link that helps connect 2 and 3. So it's,
I'm going to throw up inside of Tetsuya Nomura's mouth. Can you hear me? I'm coming for you.
He's a big fan of the podcast, so he's going to hear that.
I'm booking my flight to Tokyo right now, or wherever the fuck you live, and I'm coming to throw up in your mouth.
I think this is kind of a good idea because it seems like it's for the person who hasn't really been following along with all the portable games and stuff, because there's a lot of
there's like
that bullshit.
Legitimately 9 of them, I think, or 6. There's a lot of them.
There's 13 Kingdom Hearts games.
No.
Yeah.
Kingdom
can't Hearts be true. 2, 3. Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix. Kingdom Hearts HD 2.5 Remix.
You can't count those because they're not real different games.
Okay, so there's 10. Kingdom Hearts HD 2. Well, actually, that's kind of a remix of itself. Well, it seems like it's got a unique game in it called Kingdom Hearts X Back Cover. Then you have Unchained, which is a mobile game, I think. Chain of Memories, 358 divided by 2 days for the DS. Birth by Sleep for the PSP, Coded for something. Dream Drop Distance for the 3DS. And there was another mobile game. I think it might have just been called Kingdom Hearts Mobile. And then this website also lists The World Ends With You as one of them, which is not entirely true, but characters from that game are in the third Kingdom Hearts. It's like the same universe, weird stuff.
Hey, you know who's confirmed for third Kingdom Hearts? Big Hero 6.
That's what I was going to say. I was trying to think. Baymax is his name, right?
Yeah, that's a good film.
Yeah, you can like ride on him and stuff.
That's a good film.
That's gonna be cool. I like that they're not just being like, oh yeah, remember Aladdin? That was cool, right?
If I hang out with motherfucking Aladdin one more time, I swear to God,
they're bringing in like cool new shit, and I really appreciate that. Okay, so
I better go to Frozen.
Oh, dude, that'd be sick.
Can I go to Frozen?
I don't know. They're probably keeping that under wraps. That's their like nuclear bombshell. That's their drop the mic moment. Like that's their saving that one.
I want to know.
So
can I go to Frozen?
Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 is Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance HD, originally for the 3DS. Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary passage, which is probably some kind of remake of the PSP game Birth by Sleep, which I actually thought was pretty okay.
Was that the PSP one?
Yes, it was.
That one was good.
Yeah, I like that one. It had 3 different stories, and you went to some classic levels, some new levels. It was okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means by a fragmentary passage.
Who fucking knows?
I don't think anyone knows yet.
It says, more, I'm coming to throw up in your mouth.
Immediately after Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, as Sora prepares for the final battle, the king confesses a lot of things that were kept secret. It is the subsequent story of one person named Aqua left behind in the realm of darkness that is finally told. Oh, maybe it's not a remake.
That might be a thing.
It's just like a short story about the character Aqua who was in Birth by Sleep.
That sounds okay.
And there's also Kingdom Hearts X Back Cover. I'm going to read this quote that I'm getting from, I don't know where they got it from, but I got it from KHinsider.com. Thank you, guys. It says it is a full story about the mystery of the foretellers happening on the other side of the PC browser / smartphone games Kingdom Hearts Chi and Unchained Chi. This is that is being recorded as a fully HD video work. It is an important story that expands on the future of the Kingdom Hearts series. So it sounds like that video I watched that gave me all the cutscenes from Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
This is not the first time they've done that either. I want to say that there was like one of the HD collections included all the cutscenes in HD from like Chain of Memories or something like that.
Yes, the first HD remix.
So I think this is smart in a way, kind of fill in people who haven't really been following the series, who are excited for 3 because they've only been like playing the console releases.
Because they've been waiting for a new game for literally like 7-8 years. Something like that.
And now finally 3 is in production.
Gonna come eventually.
It is now in production, which is the fucking stupidest thing.
All right, can we be done?
Dark Souls stuff.
Oh shit! All right.
Oh yeah. Before we get to Dark Souls stuff.
No.
Assassin's Creed Syndicate is coming later this year.
No one
and
cares.
they've already announced that there's going to be a Jack the Ripper DLC. Ryan, this is very exciting. DLC is very exciting.
No, it's not.
It's especially exciting when the game hasn't even been released yet and they're already talking about DLC instead of just, I don't know, putting that shit in the game.
Yeah, but this happens all the time. This is not new.
Fucking Ubisoft. Fuck this game. Don't buy Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Please don't buy Assassin's Creed Syndicate. For every copy of Assassin's Creed Syndicate they don't sell,
we win.
A god masturbates a dog.
And that dog would be very grateful if you did not. You just didn't do it. Just, man, season passes and stuff it's just bonkers.
Garbage.
These days, dude.
Such garbage.
If that stuff's already being developed, man, I don't even want to get into it right now. I'm trying to stay positive. Dude.
Stay positive. Talk about Dark Souls.
Speaking of DLC, Bloodborne is getting DLC early next year.
That's exciting because that game came out in February.
Yes, that's acceptable to do that to a game that has been out, and then nearly a year later you say, wait, we can add more content to it, and people who enjoyed that game can play more of that game.
Yay!
Because we didn't have time to develop the old hunters in the period of time that it took to develop the original game. So they're adding that, and it's
good
going
going
to be
From Software. We're proud of you.
very exciting. We're also pleased to announce that From Software is opening up a second studio. It sounds like it's mostly going to be a support studio.
They're only going to make mech games.
Oh, man. I'd be kind of okay with that. But the studio's opening up in Fukuoka, which is someplace in Japan.
That's where you go Fukuoka.
Yeah, all right, calm down. It sounds like it's mostly going to be, they're going to be like art design and like the asset development.
Wasn't it like CG stuff too? Like
Yeah.
CG film, whatever.
Yeah, they 3D CG assets. So they're going to be like producing a lot of the assets and stuff that they use in the games that they make in the Tokyo studio.
Mm-hmm.
And they make good games, and they've been blowing up. They've been like expanding rapidly, so this is good. We can definitely expect more from them.
Yay!
I've also heard that Demon's Souls is on sale on PS3 right now, like that remastered version.
There's a remastered version?
A semi-remastered version, or it's like a downloadable version that I guess it was for PS3 originally, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's only for PS3.
It's like it's a downloadable version that has like all the kind of stuff integrated into it, and I guess it originally only sold on disc because it's like a really early PS3 game.
Yeah, it's old as dirt. 2009.
And the reverence that I have for the Soul series makes me want to play that game, but also that game it fucking hates you and wants you to die.
It's true. It's true.
Which is not like Dark Souls is like, we're going to give you a fair shake. Not so with Demon's Souls. So I don't even think I want to get into that. I'm going to get my Dark Souls rocks off in March or whatever, when the third one comes out.
That's true. That's true.
One last little thing about Dark Souls. Twitch is still playing Dark Souls, you guys.
Oh shit, they haven't given up?
No, they are making steady progress because of all the changes that were made in terms of like the pause and input, like pause and then take in, like instructions on what to do next, and because there's not that many people really playing it, like right now there's only 312 people watching. You can really, they can discuss like, oh, guys, we really need to go and get this thing now, and you know that will help us do this, and you know, they can really get organized. Unlike Twitch Plays Pokemon was this weird cultural phenomenon where people just all go in and just start banging on keys.
Yeah.
So they've beaten like several bosses, including the optional boss. They've gotten up to Seath the Scaleless, which is one of the 4 like big bosses that you have to beat to clear the game.
Okay.
Which is crazy that they've come.
Is that
this
bananas?
Far. It's pretty bananas. The system that they have in place really does work, but it is time consuming as all hell, man. It's all the pauses. But yeah, at this rate, they could easily beat the game. Now that they have all the pauses and everything. Originally, when it was just chaos, there was no chance.
Interesting.
But I kind of just stopped paying attention because it's like not fun anymore.
Yeah.
You know, these advanced systems that are specifically designed to make it work. I'm just like, man, all the craziness is gone. This isn't
fun anymore?
Yeah, it was like crazy watching it at first. People, they were just rolling, and like they get so close to where they're supposed to go, and then they just used like the dark sign and fucked everything up.
It's true.
But it's come a long way since then. But yeah, they're gonna beat that game eventually.
They might.
Speaking of games, we're gonna beat. BearVersusMan.com.
BearVersusMan.com. It's a website. Go to it. We put stuff on it when we feel like it.
I don't always feel like it.
Yeah.
I play so many video games. I don't have time to write.
Yeah.
I'm just.
We're on Twitter at BearVersusMan. Please send us an email. Dear God, please send us an email with a question you'd like us to answer.
Please do that. And if you're
the email address is questions@bearversusman.com.
Sorry, I thought you said that already.
I didn't, you piece of filth.
Hey, by the way, if you're listening to this from Saudi Arabia,
we appreciate you,
man. Hey, thanks, dude.
We appreciate you.
That's awesome. If you're listening to this from somewhere else, that's pretty good too.
Yeah, we appreciate you. If you're listening using the app Pocket Casts, we appreciate you.
Did you get did you get paid by Pocket Cast to say that?
No, there's just like a breakdown of listening methods, and that's one of them.
What about Stitcher?
One guy listened to one episode of one podcast.
Did that guy see the proper image for this podcast?
No.
Fuck. We gotta get this shit figured out. We made a new image for this podcast, like, seriously? Like, 18 episodes ago.
Yeah, like, half the time ago.
And it has not updated in the RSS feed, and I don't even know it's happening. It's sausages to me. But we're going to figure it out. For you guys, thank you. Because thank you for everyone who's listening. If you have anyone, if you know anyone who might potentially remotely also like to listen to this, tell them. Mm-hmm. Just let them know what's going on. Did you listen to this podcast you thought was cool? And that's how we kind of get the word spread around. Also, leaving comments on iTunes is a really good way.
Please rate us on iTunes, because apparently that's how it works.
Yeah, their aggregation system is kind of how a lot of people find like a majority of podcast listeners like ever in the whole world.
Yeah.
They pretty much only listen through iTunes.
That's true. Yeah. So, please tell your friends. Please rate us on iTunes if you haven't already. That'd be super.
Yeah, that'd be fucking sweet, dude.
Yeah.
Something else important I wanted to say, but I forgot.
Guys, he forgot. That's gonna do it. Bye.
I love you all. I didn't.